Personality disorders are disorders that never go away. They're disorders that the individual is born with. Two of those I want to talk to you about today. They're diagnosable in the DSM-5 revised, and they're both on the what we call the cluster B, which means basically they're personality disorders. That means when this person is really having a hard time, there are medications that help, but essentially this never goes away. And the two I want to talk about are very similar, but yet so different. They get misdiagnosed all the time. And whether you have it yourself or you've dated someone with this, or perhaps you're married to them, it's important you understand the difference. The two I want to talk about is one, especially, that's often overdiagnosed, and that's narcissistic personality disorder. The other one that isn't quite as common, and it's found mostly in women, is the histrionic personality disorders. Now, the first thing I want to tell you is if you're dating someone and you just go, oh, they're a narcissist, if it's a woman, that's less likely. Honestly, 50 to 75% of all narcissists are men. And we don't know why that is. However, society is kind of set up to encourage some of those qualities in men. But more than that, we think that that's modeled or mentored. And many of those dads who are narcissistic and have children, they oftentimes don't stay to help raise the children. So we really don't have any account what they are or what they're like until we see it in one of the children. And then it's easier to diagnose it. And perhaps that genetic component came from their dad in that case. I think what's important that we understand too is that the difference is very significant. Whereas narcissists will manipulate, they'll malign, they'll do things purposely. They don't really have feelings for the other person. It's always about them. They're very grandiose, very gestured. Histrionic personality disorder is not like that at all. And the most significant thing about histrionic personality disorders, even though they want the attention from you, it's really more about they can be concerned for you. They can want what's best for you. People with histrionic personality disorder, they may struggle in relationships for different reasons. They have a desire for gratification and excitement that can lead to boredom in long term. Histrionic personality disorders are also marked by a tendency to consider relationships more intimate than they actually are. So they may be dating you for 2 weeks and assume that you guys are an intimate pair. And if you have that happen with someone, you know how offsetting that can be. It's kind of scary. Like, why are you already thinking we're in love? Like, I've only seen you 2 times. And you can see where these kind of people can be called love bombers or other things, when in a sense, none of that is true. They're struggling with histrionic personality disorder. Also, in relationships with histrionic personality disorders, they often depend strongly on the partner. And they can act in a manipulative way to get what they need from the partner. But where they differ from the narcissistic personality disorder is they're not willing to do something so much it's going to hurt you. In other words, they do really care about you. It's just that they overestimate their importance to you. They think that you love them more than you do. But so if they're with somebody who's breadcrumbing, you can see what a disaster that would be, because they would assume this person was really in love with them, and they would get heartbroken very badly. Also, if you have HPD or histrionic personality disorder, your efforts to get attention can be dramatic, and they can seem excessively emotional. So people living with this disorder, they're very moody. They're up and down a lot. And so they get misdiagnosed many times with a mood disorder as well. Narcissistic is not like this at all. These people are much more dangerous in my idea because they don't care. It is all about them. They have a harder time ever seeing what they're doing wrong. And this is an important component. If you're with one of these people, the better chance for treatment and that they'll actually follow a plan is with the histrionic personality disorder. Because the histrionic personality disorder actually can gain insight, whereas the narcissistic personality disorder is, the only insight they have is how they can manipulate you and the therapist. And I've seen it happen. They've come in, they've actually tried to manipulate me during the session. And it's very clear when they do it for me because I can see it. I'm looking for it. Whereas if you were in love with one of these people, you would never see it coming. So I think what's important to know if you're dating someone like this, and if you do want help, couples counseling can help, especially if you're with an HPD person. But if you're with a narcissist, individual therapy is going to help more. If you go with the family with a histrionic personality disorder, it is very helpful because when there's peer pressure, they will usually try to see out of it. They will try to find a way to readjust their behaviors. Narcissistic personality disorders, if you take the whole family, they will tell you that you're ganging up on them. They'll take the victim stance and they'll find a way to slither out of it to make themselves look like the hero of the story, that they have been misrepresented, mistreated, and everything else. In fact, narcissistic personalities have no problem acting like martyrs at times. And if they can, they will try to fool you, to manipulate you as well. So it is important that you're on the lookout. I think if you're dating either one of these types, the most important thing you can do for yourself is go to therapy. Go to therapy one-on-one. Yes, take them if they're willing to go, because I'm telling you, any help is going to really be helpful if you want to keep the relationship. But if you're really thinking, can I make this work? I think you are going to have a much better chance of that with a histrionic personality disorder than you will with a narcissistic personality disorder. Let me know if you need more help in this area. I don't get a lot of requests in this, and that's why I'm trying to expose you to it, to help you with it. But at the same time, if you need more, I'd like to know. And if this video is helpful for you, please subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much.